We've been on a how many day sabbatical? Sabbatical from this podcast. It's been a little while.
Stupid.
What? Oh.
Stupid Instagram. Silly, stupid Instagram.
Well.
Camp is just around the corner, it says.
What's just around? What?
Camp. Yes. Okay, I'm going to zoom out so we can actually see us on Instagram. Ready?
Yeah.
There we go.
Oh, I hate that, but sure.
Yeah, but give it a second here. Let's see what happens. There. Look, there. Now you're on Instagram. Yay!
You can hardly see me.
What? You can hardly see me. Good morning.
Good morning.
We have 2 viewers.
Woo woo. All right. We're back from spring break. It is March 18th, Monday morning. We're a little late. It's 9:36. Drew's still trying to get it together in the back over there.
It's asking me for a CAPTCHA.
I don't know what to tell you. Other than we should probably start getting those things together beforehand.
Why?
Did you want me to give the weather forecast?
What is the weather?
Well, lovely ladies, it is raining and a little chilly outside.
Is it really?
Yeah.
I haven't been outside.
I had a hair appointment this morning at 7 a.m. only so that I could go out into the rain and for it to frizz up again. So there's that. Glad I got that done today. So I walked into the office for a second, very chipper. It was good to see everybody. I think I was missed. At least I want to believe that I was missed. But it looks like everybody did use that time to take some days off and rekindle some family time.
Well, hello.
Which is definitely what we did.
Did we?
I mean, 9 days in a car together is going to do that to you.
Dude, for real, man. Oh, my God. That was a fun road trip.
It was a fun road trip. It was 9 days of travel and with some skiing.
Was it 9?
It was 9 days, honey.
Dude.
9 days of travel. I think that we all really survived and did really well up until the last day. And then Fleet was not having it.
He was okay.
He was okay, but he was like, that's it. I'm done. I am done. Nobody wanted to sleep in another hotel, and no one wanted to eat out anymore.
Yeah.
Happens.
Well, hi. Here, put this on so you can see how different we sound.
You sound different?
Yes, we sound different.
Good or bad?
You sound like you're real far away. I sound like I'm right here.
My levels are just fine.
Okay. As long as your levels are fine, we're
Your
okay.
levels are very loud.
You're very loud.
Here we go.
Anyway,
You
hi.
can't see us on the Instagram either, by the way.
What do you mean?
You can't see us. You just see the table.
What are you talking about? Yeah, you see it cut off because that's the way Instagram does it. It's
Do
weird.
you want me to go this way?
You have to lean in. I don't know.
I'll lean into you this way.
Well, good morning.
Good morning.
Well, spring break. You're cringing. I love it.
It's very loud.
Here, turn this down here. Turn that up there. Is that better?
Yeah, a little bit better.
Does that sound better?
Yeah. What do you need me to wear the headphones for if you're not wearing any?
I don't know.
Does
You
it
need to
make-
hear
does-
yourself.
I do? Okay.
You need to make sure we sound the same.
I think we sound just fine.
Whatever. Well, spring break was fun, man. We do you know how many miles we drove?
3,526.
3,521. You were close.
I
4
made
states,
that number up.
8 days, 9 days, 3,500 miles in a car.
In a car.
In the
survived.
trusty steed.
Survived with me, you, and 2 kiddos.
Dude, you know what? I mean,
Packed to the brim, I will say.
I feel like road trips are such a throwback and so much fun, man. We ate sandwiches in the car. We pulled over at rest stops. We stayed in weird hotels.
I mean,
We got to drive part of Route 66.
we did. So the part that I love the most about the road trips there's several things, but the big one is that you get to stop. You can stop at all these weird places that you hear about or that you read about, but you never actually fly to, right? Like there's no way I'm ever going to fly to Prairie Dog Town.
Prairie Dog
like,
Town.
That's not going to happen.
That was the surprise.
And I was just so delighted to see those little prairie dogs.
I knew when we took off, I was like, if there's one place we have to stop, it's Prairie Dog Town.
So,
I really wanted to go to Fort Sumner and go see Billy the Kid's grave. But the kids hadn't seen Young Guns yet, so
No.
there was really no point in going.
Well, but that's another thing is that unless you're driving through, you're not going to fly anywhere close to there to go see that.
I've had people have flown in to go.
Really?
Well, I don't know if there's an airport in Fort Sumner, New Mexico.
But even around there, you still have to drive. So that's what I was asking was if I wanted to replicate the trip and do that through flights, there's really no way to do that. You have to drive.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we drove. Yeah, I mean, like that little convenience store in the middle of nowhere in New Mexico. That was pretty cool. But you're not going to fly there to go see it.
No. And
But-
you're not going to fly to go see prairie dogs.
But then the thing about it is like just the drive in and of itself, man, was incredible. I mean, driving south. So we started in McAllen. We drove to San Antonio on a Thursday. We spent the night Thursday night in San Antonio so we could get an early start. We drove San Antonio up through the middle of nowhere. We took Highway 83 up. We're like I-10 west to 83 north, and we drove through San Angelo, and we drove through La Mesa, and we drove through all these other weird, tiny little cities in West Texas, made our way up to Lubbock, specifically to go to Prairie Dog Town, but I didn't tell you guys we were going there, so we went to Prairie Dog Town, drove the campus of Texas Tech.
Wait, hold on. You need to give Prairie Dog Town like the moment that it deserves because I don't think you can... It's weird.
Has anyone? I'm curious if anyone listening has ever been to Prairie Dog Town.
Anyone ever been to Prairie Dog Town? I will say that it was not at all what I expected. I expected, I don't know, maybe a prairie dog or two to come out, but this was an entire field of prairie dogs. It was bizarre.
Yeah, it was the guy who started it wanted to make sure that the prairie dogs would live on, especially with all the construction going on in the Lubbock area, and so. He started with a pair of prairie dogs and...
Like he bred them?
I don't know. He just put them out there. I don't know if he actually bred them.
Anyway, it's surreal. So it's just a giant field and with all these little holes throughout the field and these little dogs come out and hang out. And then I did the stuff you're not supposed to, right? Like I fed.
Yes, you're never supposed to
feed the prairie dogs and they were so cute with their little hands eating. It was definitely a highlight because when in the world are you ever going to see that?
I'm just saying, man.
And so, okay. But the prairie dog is also the same guy from Caddyshack, right? That's a prairie dog?
Yeah, that's a gopher.
Oh, that's a gopher.
What's the difference between a gopher and a prairie dog?
I have no idea. Or a mole.
Gopher versus prairie dog. I wonder what the...
I don't know what that would be.
Anyway, so it was fun. Prairie dogs have coarse light brown fur with white or black accents. Gophers, on the other hand, have smooth, pliable fur.
Okay, so they're the same animal with different fur.
According to one website, groundhogs are bigger. Prairie dogs prefer living in colonies, while groundhogs are more independent.
Oh.
Well, see, Prairie Dog Town was perfect.
It was perfect. It was perfect. Honestly, it was definitely a highlight. And then we got out of the car, and I didn't expect for it to be so cold.
Yeah, it was in the 40s, I think, when we got into it.
And then so we went to Cadillac Ranch after that.
And we got windburned.
I got severely windburned.
It looked like you had a sunburn on your face.
It was awful. It was awful. I had to put Aquaphor on my face every single night. It was pretty bad.
Yep.
Yeah.
What else did we do?
Oh, we went to the famous Big Tex restaurant.
Yeah, where if you eat the steak,
the 72-ounce steak, you get it
with
for
all
free.
the fixins. You had to have a salad. And
I was dying for someone to try doing it, and no one did it while we were there. It's a giant meal.
Well,
we didn't, but it was good, and it was again, I'd scratch that off the bucket list.
It was cool. I've always wanted to go there, man.
Yeah.
Like ever since watching The Great Outdoors,
Yeah,
where they
you
ate the old
see it.
96er, you know.
You see it in all the movies and the shows and whatnot, and so
And it really
I'm glad that we got to do it.
It really wasn't that bad, all things considered. The
No,
steak
it
was
wasn't bad
actually
at
pretty
all.
good.
I didn't think it was bad at all.
Yep.
We had worse steak.
We have.
We had worse steak.
We did not have worse steak.
Yeah.
You're talking about the Goat Barn.
The Goat Barn?
The Goat Barn, the Hitchin Post in Ozona, Texas.
No, I wasn't actually talking about there. I
place
didn't
was
have
great,
steak. No,
dude.
the steak looked okay, but Fleet's face. No, there was somewhere else that Fleet got like a steak, and it was a really thin. Oh, when we were in Durango, that steak wasn't very
Oh,
good.
yeah, well, we were eating in a saloon.
We did. We had dinner in a saloon.
We did.
We had dinner. Okay, but hold on. Can we talk about skiing?
Talk about it.
Can we talk about skiing? Okay, so
This just reminds me of that meme where
meme?
Where it talks about. Hold on, you start talking. I'm gonna bring it up.
Focus.
Like,
Okay,
we went
so
skiing over spring break. It was so nice.
oh no, stop. So we go skiing. We went to go meet up a
skiing.
friend and her family, and we had a great time. But I'll tell you that it was mentally exhausting to deal with you.
Oh my God, get over it.
Not the kids, but to deal with Drew.
You want to drag up old stuff? We can start talking about what happened 2 weeks ago.
Oh my goodness. This
You
is
really
not,
want to get into
this
it? We
is
can
not
get
a
into it.
competition on that. I just
You can
wanted to
hate
talk
on me
about
all you
how
want.
some of us need some coercing. And then you find out that it's a really good time. So at the end of it, to participate is always best. Right?
Whatever, man.
Can we agree that participating is always
Listen,
best?
those are famous words from the camp counselor himself.
And then we're
Lexi's
using
boyfriend.
Yes, that we are absolutely taking to
It's
heart.
always more fun to participate. I think that that's something that everybody needs to remember, is that it really is always more fun to
even
participate.
in moments of distress.
Oh, why you gotta be mean?
I'm not being mean. I'm not being mean at all. In moments of distress or in
I am not a good skier.
doubt, it is good to
I have
participate.
problems with my left knee, and every time I go skiing, I screw it up. And I skied the first day, and everything was great. And I was like, okay, cool, I'm done. And the next day, you were like, you are not done. I was like, I'm totally done. And you're like, you're not done. And then
You are
I'm demanding that you get on the mountain or some shit like that. I was like, dude,
I couldn't do it by myself.
I know, but man, you're like, I feel like I'm 10 years older than you.
You're not.
Not in the same physical condition as you
You're
are.
not 10 years old.
And I just genuinely am not that big of a fan of skiing.
Did you have so much fun?
I had a good time.
Yeah, you had a good time. You
Well,
had a really
yeah,
good-
dude.
You want to know why?
Why?
Because Fleet is awesome.
He was having fun.
Yes. Nola is one of those
She's
like
so good. She was
she's
so good.
She's just
She's
a
just-
skilled slow skier.
She just smoothly
She's just-
cruised down the hill with a big smile on her
And you
face,
can't-
waving at
yeah,
everybody,
you
having a
can't-
good old time.
She's just happy.
And Fleet was like, I'm going to go jump through those trees.
Yeah. So Fleet was more interested in getting air and
Yeah.
doing parkour.
And
On
then
skis.
we did parkour at all the rest stops. What was the name of that place that we went to down here? Do you remember the place in McCown? We had a birthday party there.
I was actually just talking to Jordan about that. Kiskea.
Is it Kiskea? Is that the name of it?
Kiskety?
Kiskety? Yeah, Kiskea Athletics in McAllen. If anyone in Radioland hasn't been, you should totally go check out Kiskea Athletics. It's on Minnesota Road, in between, I want to say, Jackson and McCall. It's on the south side, and you drive up to it, and you're like, what the hell is this place? It's this enormous warehouse-looking facility, and inside they teach parkour classes. There's indoor tennis courts. There's all kinds of indoor athletics. And the story about the lady who started it is incredible. It basically deals with being a mom and not having a place to drop her kids off where she felt comfortable with them going through lessons or going through, after school activities. And so she got together and built this thing, and it is awesome, dude.
It is pretty
There's
cool.
a whole upstairs parkour area. They claim it's the largest indoor parkour park in the United States.
I know.
And there's also a rumor that I think is just a rumor that it was started by some family because their kid was a Hollywood stunt person, and they used it as a place to train their stunt person child, which is not true if you look at the website. Total rumor, but just interesting to think that could come up. But it was, dude, it was really cool. And ever since we went to the birthday party there, now every time we see a bench or a tabletop or a brick wall, Fleety yells parkour, and he jumps all over it.
Yeah.
So, but that place is pretty awesome.
Yeah, Jordan was just talking about it. He spent 3 hours there yesterday, and he said that it was good. That the instructor.
Jordan did?
Yeah, well, he was there with the kids.
Oh, I was like, he can't be doing that stuff.
I mean, I didn't ask him if he was taking the lessons, but from what I understood, the
Whatever.
kids
And
were
he was
taking the
complaining
classes.
about this morning, wasn't
No,
he?
he wasn't complaining.
I'm just giving him a
No,
hard
not
time.
complaining at all. He was actually
We're not supposed to mention names, but that's okay.
singing their praises. Well, I didn't say anything bad.
Parkour.
Thought it was good.
Yeah. So the road trip was great. Skiing was fun. It snowed and snowed and snowed. We went
Oh, so
skiing
much
at
snow.
a delightful place right outside of Salt Lake City called Brighton. And it's like a locals haven for skiing, and it was filled with the nicest people and families, and it was like a dance party.
Oh, the music was great at the base of the mountain.
Dude, at the lift, it was just like, it was great. And so here's the thing. You sent me something online, because generally people think about skiing as a very high dollar activity.
It is a high dollar
activity. And every time that we've ever done it, it's been a high dollar activity. And this time we looked at it.
Well, hold on. No, don't get things confused or twisted. I think skiing altogether is a high dollar activity because the passes, the equipment, getting there, none of those things come. I mean, it's difficult to do.
It's true, but booking a condo for spring break on South Padre and going out to eat and renting jet skis.
Yeah, you're still going to spend money. Yeah.
It's the same.
Well, going to South Padre, period, isn't cheap either.
Not anymore. It's not.
No.
It used to be.
If you don't own a place there, it's expensive.
If you don't own a place there, that in and of itself is expensive. Like,
but that's
those
what
are
I'm
all $1 million
saying.
Condos now. You can't get a condo in South Padre for less than like 500 grand right now.
When I was a youngster, someone had a condo.
I was a young warthog.
And that's how you did it. But
speaking of South Padre Island,
you're yelling.
Saturday, March 29th, coming back to the Rio Grande Valley, we've got Dead Mouse at the Cameron County Water Park, formerly known as Schlitterbahn. It's going to be awesome. We're taking the kids. It's going to be great. Tickets are still on sale. Visit Global Groove. Look it up online. I'll promote the tickets on the Instagram or whatever, but if you're an old schooler like me and you've loved dance music for a while, now's a great chance to grab the kids and come out and relive some old memories with the person that in my entire career of booking artists was the most asshole-ish of every artist I ever worked with.
Oh my.
But produces some great music. So he may be a prick, but he makes great music.
Don't. Already
truth.
cringing.
It's the truth.
So but let's be honest here. A lot of people don't take their children to that because of any kind of potential exposure, drugs, yeah. Raves and drugs tend to go.
But that's not.
Well, the mentality tends to fall in that direction.
Not just electronic music. That's you can't go to ACL. You can't go to a concert these days without it just being because of legalization and cannabis stores and all this other stuff. Concerts are not the same as they were. Remember, we were going to take the kids to ACL.
And we decided not to because it was just too much marijuana.
Yeah, everyone was like, dude, everybody there is high. Which, again, I don't have a problem with people legally consuming things, except it's not legal in Texas. But, whatever. It's part of the atmosphere that you go to. I don't think it's only relegated to
Okay, so
raves.
let me ask you a question. If somebody were to call you and say, hey, I want to take my kids out to Dead Mouse. Yeah. I do want to go. How would you advise that they do that? Dude,
you just go. And so here's the thing. So I talked to the promoter, Paul, yesterday. He's been a friend of mine. You know this for God knows how long. He's much older than I am, so we were much younger when we were friends. But I told him, I said, dude, you need to set up a section just for adults.
He's much older than you are, but his wife is much younger than I am.
Yeah.
Yeah. Paul.
What? She's a sweetheart too.
She is. She's a doll.
But I told him, I said, you need a VIP section for parents and their kids, because I remember a couple years back, we went to go see Skrillex or Dead Mouse or someone at one of his concerts, and we had some friends of ours with us, and they brought their kids as well. And it was cool because we were on this area off to the side. Right. We were on stage on some risers. We were able to see the concert, enjoy the concert, and then leave before it got crazy. And now VIP, for example, at this event, VIP is 21 and over only. So it's like, okay, well, I don't want to buy a table in a VIP section where my kids can't be there, but I want to go and enjoy the event, but I want to do it in part that's set off to the side.
Well, and I think there's also something else that you need to kind of consider is that we're at the disposal of the children, right? So like if the kids are having a good time, then
we're all having a good time. Yeah.
But the minute one of them is like, no, we're out, we also have to be able to say, okay, we're done.
Oh my God, dude. Speaking of,
we're done. We're going to walk out now.
I went to go see Dune Part 2 when you were out of town.
Yeah.
And my little kiddo had a stomach issue we were 70% of the way through this 3-hour movie, and it was just starting to build and get so good. And dude, we had to bail. Like it was just,
you have to be ready to go.
You know what? I think that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to go watch Dune Part 2. Part 2. I'm going to go by myself.
The second part.
I already have the popcorn bucket, so no need for the
that popcorn bucket's not very pretty.
There's a whole scandal
about really not pretty at all.
Well, there's also a scandal about going and ordering the popcorn bucket with extra butter and no popcorn.
Ew. Yeah, gross. I can see that. Hi, Tracy. I see you on there.
I
Hi,
might
Carrie.
go watch Doom Part 2 again today. But yeah, you gotta bail, and that's the thing is.
Can you take that off and go back to the agenda?
Yeah, man.
Because today we have an agenda. I really love that you did this, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, spring break did not make us spring broke. Okay. Well, interesting. This is a new story that we read.
Okay.
To switch gears off of spring break.
Wait, hold on. I'm not done with spring break. I did want to talk a little bit about how this 9-day road trip allowed for me to reconnect with my family in ways that I had not in a very long time. So I will say we are constantly so busy going through all of the motions, getting kids to school, getting them to their after school activities, running around, balancing work, balancing life, that you don't take the time to have real conversations with them, right? Like it becomes like, oh, I know who they are, but I don't ever really get to talk to them. And just the way you and I have this, where we can at least connect for 1 hour out of the week, we don't get to connect with them on a more, I don't know.
Yeah, dude, I'm telling you, road trips are dope. I mean, that's like,
and so this one, when you know what I mean? Like, yeah, for the most part, they've got their iPads and they're busy and they're, talking to each other and playing and doing whatnot. But there's so much conversation that happens in between. And then there was those wonderful quiet moments where you look back and they're just looking out the window and appreciating what's around, which is phenomenal. When my 7-year-old can say, it is so beautiful out here, I felt like we'd done something really good.
Yeah. And I thought he was on his Switch the whole time.
No,
he turned around and he wasn't even doing. He was just looking around.
Just looking around.
He was enjoying it.
Because it is such there are parts of this country that are so beautiful.
Yeah.
And so that was really enlightening. And then the other part was to have these really deep conversations with you that was somewhat uninterrupted, right?
Yeah.
Like our kids were, they had their headphones on, they were in it watching a movie or playing or doing something. And it allowed for us to have an uninterrupted conversation, which is so rare.
Yeah.
We don't get to finish a thought half the time, right? We start a story and we don't get to finish it because someone comes running in or needs something from us.
Mm-hmm.
So this was incredible. I encourage everyone to get in the car and just drive.
Old school road trips, man.
Which sounds bizarre.
They're the best.
It was good. Oh my God. And then Hampton Inns, Courtyard Marriott's, like, luckily we didn't have to do
Holiday Inn Express.
We stayed at one Holiday Inn Express, but for the most part we stayed at Homewood Suites and Hampton Inns.
Yeah.
I think
we stayed at all
we were all over the place because when you're driving cross country and your eyes are tired and you're tired and the kids are done, then you pull over wherever you can.
Yeah,
to sleep.
And in retrospect, doing that in the middle of spring break probably wasn't a good idea to not book reservations.
Yeah,
at hotels,
but it wasn't an issue out of state. It was only an issue when we were in Texas.
Yeah,
it was hard to find a hotel. It was a little difficult.
We rode the train in Durango in the middle of the snow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You had to watch people be obnoxious main characters. God, that's one thing that I noticed is that as we traveled and we were in all these different states, you just saw different cultures and different people, and you saw the way that people interacted with other human beings. And when we were in Durango and it was a melting pot of a whole bunch of different cultures, you saw people that were like main characters. I mean, like it's a phrase, right? It's someone who the world revolves around them, and they're the one taking the picture or taking the video, and they don't give a shit what you're doing. You need to get out of their way because this is their life story. You're just you're just a character in their story of their lives. And I think that echoes in culture so much of where we are in 2024,
yeah,
where
I was gonna say
everyone feels like they're the main character, which rightly so, right? We're all in our own lives and we're all doing our own thing, but there's that sense of compassion for other people and for other humans in your direct vicinity that so many people forget, dude. Like that lady in Santa Fe walking down the middle of the drive at the hotel. And like she knew there were people. Like she turned around and looked, and then she knew there were cars behind her, and she just decided to walk right down the middle of the street. It's like drop off at OLS, dude. Just people just not giving a
I
shit.
think that's drop off everywhere. I don't
No,
think it's just
I don't know,
there.
man. When people follow rules, I feel like at OLS people choose to pretend that rules don't apply to them
I think
at the private school our kids go
drop-off
to.
is a nightmare everywhere.
But I hate it, man. It's like, dude, use the crosswalk like a normal human
Well, I
being.
wasn't trying
Follow
to get
the
you
traffic
uppity. I
laws.
wasn't trying to get you all wild about stuff. I was just simply saying.
Well,
that
I think that was of the whole road trip. The downside that we had were dealing with people who were less compassionate about other people around them.
But you know what's interesting about that is that I just kind of saw it and okay.
I didn't.
It doesn't
like,
bother
dude,
me. I've
it
gotten
bothers
to the
me
point where,
because
like,
it's like because
I
it's
can't.
infringing on our ability to have a good time or our ability to enjoy something because people are being loud and obnoxious when that's not how people were before.
Right.
I don't feel like people were as obnoxious as they were
issue
before.
throughout the entire trip. I had one issue, and that was when we were on the train in Colorado. Yeah. I had one issue, and that was purely because people weren't
sitting in their assigned
seats.
Because to them, it was more important for them to sit wherever they felt comfortable sitting. It's like, dude.
But I didn't look into it that much. Like, I think I don't have the energy nor the time to get upset about people being main characters because
I do. I hate
clearly
it.
they're not the main character in my life or my story, right? So if it means that I walk around to avoid being disgruntled for 10 minutes, by all means. Who cares?
Speaking of
main
characters,
be
what else do we
cool.
have? Be cool, right?
Be cool.
So,
okay.
Pornhub blocked in Texas. Age verification. Good thing or bad thing?
It's a great thing.
You think it's a great thing?
Yes, absolutely. Cool. Kids don't need to be stumbling upon things they don't need to be seen. Although the Pornhub blocking it eliminates
Did they block it entirely or did they just make it? I haven't been, so
I don't know either. Oh. Well,
let's find out.
So I will say that if it eliminates one stream of kids getting on, then great. But it doesn't eliminate all of it.
I'm gonna try and go to it right now and see what happens.
I will say though,
dear user, as you may know, your elected officials in Texas are requiring us to verify your age before allowing you access to our site. Not only does this impinge on the rights of adults to access protected speech, it fails strict scrutiny by employing the least effective and yet most also restricted means of accomplishing Texas' stated purpose of allegedly protecting minors. We encourage you to learn more. No, it is blocked.
Like you can't get on Pornhub at all?
It's blocked. Pornhub is blocked in the state of Texas.
So how do you get it?
You don't get Pornhub in Texas anymore.
Oh, it's completely blocked.
Yep. Unfortunately, the Texas law for age verification is ineffective, haphazard, and dangerous. Not only will it not actually protect children, but it will also inevitably reduce content creators' ability to post and distribute legal adult content and directly impact their ability to share the artistic messages they want to convey with it. We believe the only effective solution for protecting minors and adults alike is to verify users' age on their device and to either deny or allow access to age-restricted materials and website based on that verification. So they're saying that your device, this device that's associated with me should verify my age. The same as if our daughter's cell phone is associated with her age verification should be in there. So it is absolutely blocked.
So I can't access it even as an adult? You cannot access
Pornhub as an adult.
Oh, that's a bummer.
Yeah, it's great. But so here's the thing. So I mean, I'm all honestly, I'm all for it. What do I care?
Right, it doesn't bother me.
You put black plastic in front of adult magazines when I was a kid, at the store, so you couldn't see any of the adult content.
Does that not exist anymore?
They don't sell porn magazines anymore.
Oh.
As a joke, remember I tried to buy a bunch of Playboys. Playboy's out of circulation. You can't buy Playboys anymore. Oh. You don't find adult content anywhere, which is okay. I'm not complaining about it. But Pornhub being blocked.
So it's completely blocked. Like you can't even pay for the service and sign up?
No, it's 100% blocked in the state of Texas.
Wow.
Yeah, because they're taking a stand, right? So they're saying that what Texas is doing is dumb, that's not going to solve the problem. But so that they get in trouble, instead of allowing people who say, oh yeah, I'm 18, here's my driver's license, instead of allowing them to get online, they're saying that's ineffective, that's not going to work, and people are still going to access the content by taking a picture of their mom or their dad's ID and uploading it and then getting online.
That's a bigger hassle, though.
So, this is just the same thing as like the abortion stuff, dude. This is Texas being idiots. This is Texas legislators being fucking morons, man. they're not solving the problem. They're creating roadblocks to make it seem like they're doing something. And in this case,
but you don't feel like this is somewhat of a good deterrent?
Blocking Pornhub entirely, I feel like they have a better solution than the state of Texas does.
Because it was Pornhub who blocked it, not the state of Texas that blocked it.
State of Texas issued
Said we
something.
wanted an age parameter.
You have to put an age verification, and you have to do that in order to access the adult content. Pornhub's saying, okay, we can put that in, but people are going to fake it. Then they're going to get access to it anyway, and then the state's going to sue us because Ken Paxton likes to sue everybody.
So we're just not.
So they're like, we're not even going to do it because it's going to get us in hot water because of this ridiculous law that you've now passed.
So now you have a bunch of Texans that are upset because they can't access porn.
Well, I don't know. I'm not upset, but I think that there's a better solution for this, and I think that our state is filled with people that are morons.
You know, I don't know if there's a better solution because
blocking. No, hold on. What I'm saying is technologically putting my ID on my phone and using my phone as the age verification, having to go through multiple steps to verify that I'm an adult on my device, and then Pornhub allowing my device to connect based on credentials on my device. I think that's a legitimate way to do it versus saying, oh, upload a picture of your ID to prove that you're an adult.
Right.
I think that Texas they did something to try and solve a problem, which is cool. I'm not opposed to that.
Right.
But the way that they're doing it, I don't think is an effective way to do it, and I think it could be done so much better. But they're not doing it for the right reasons. They're doing it for political show. They're doing it because it's a freaking election year, and then it's the same. It's Texas, man. You know, doing the stuff that they do.
Well,
speaking of Texas, we learned an interesting deal that I had never thought about.
What?
There's a lot of hoopla about an article that came out of Mississippi, and it brought to light what Texas, Arkansas, and Mississippi all have in common.
Wasn't Mississippi? Wasn't it Missouri?
I thought it was Mississippi. Is it, or is it Missouri?
It's Missouri.
You cannot get divorced while you're pregnant.
Yeah, Missouri.
Although you can file for divorce while pregnant in Texas, the divorce cannot be finalized until after the baby is born. This is because the court will not have jurisdiction over a child until it is born, and therefore cannot make final decisions on issues such as child support, child custody, or even paternity. But the downside to it is like the story that we heard where the lady was being physically and sexually abused, and she was trying to leave her husband, and then couldn't. She ended up pregnant. She became pregnant, and according to her it was because her husband had raped her, and did so in order to make sure that she couldn't leave him.
Right.
So that's an interesting one. But I mean, it's one of those, what world are we living in where
I feel like I've read so many articles as of late where it's
so pro-male, right? Everything is so pro-male.
But everything is also like, what world do we live in? How is this allowed? How is it okay? When did women just not have any more rights? When did we become property?
The scary thing is I feel like it's being taken away more and more and more. I mean, I look at the State of the Union address, right, where they were talking about some of the stuff, and you know, regardless of the politics of it, what was interesting to me is that there was a local OB-GYN who was there. And he posted online. He's like, "Hey, I'm a guest of Monica, whatever her name is, the Republican." He's like, "I'm a guest of her," and he posted on social media. He's like, "I'm so happy I get to go to the State of the Union, and it's awesome." And to know that there was an OB-GYN that was standing there as a guest of a staunch right-wing, anti-abortion congresswoman, and there's a local OB-GYN who is standing there, like, hearing all this and not going, God, at what point are you like, dude, that's your job is protecting women's health, and you're a guest of someone who's trying to take away women's rights. Like that was not lost on me. I know this guy, and I don't know if he listens to the show or not, but it's like how do you reconcile? Like, you're standing there.
But him being there gave him more insight.
I hope so. God, I hope so.
I don't think that it was like, oh, I'm going to go support whatever her beliefs are. I think it was like, this is an opportunity to learn more, and to use that information however I can.
But I don't think I don't think he went there to go get knowledge. I mean, dude, if a congressperson invites me to go State of the Union, I'm gonna go, yep, absolutely.
Well,
Like,
but
sure,
I know
I'll see you there.
I think that and I haven't had a conversation with him, and I don't know if I ever will, but I would hope that he walked into that room and was just like, this is insightful. I've learned a lot, and I would imagine, and I don't know her politics down to each and every one of the topics. I don't know how she votes on that particular topic. I have no clue.
Anti-abortion.
So it's interesting. Well, it's interesting. It's interesting to me that she would have taken a guest that was an OB.
I don't know. That's fascinating. But in good news there for people who don't like her, the elections happened in Hidalgo County. And there were some interesting stats I looked at because people talk about where we sit within Hidalgo County and where the party lines are drawing. We've got lots of friends on both sides, but one side, landslide early voting numbers came out. District 15, Michelle Vallejo got 16,000 votes. Monica de la Cruz got 11,000 votes. 22,000 Democrats came out, and only 12,000 Republicans came out for District 15, which is our district here in Hidalgo County in McAllen. District 34, 9,000 Democrats came out, 5,000 Republicans came out. 9,000 of those voted for Vicente. The winner was Myra Lunatic Flores with 3,700 votes in District 34. So out of the 5,000 GOP that turned out, only 3,700 of them voted for Myra Flores, which is great news because she's an idiot. Personal opinion as you bite your tongue.
I'm like,
well, she's the wonder child, right? She's the one that won in the special election, and they're hoping that she comes in. It didn't hurt that she had Elon Musk on her side, popping up in Brownsville, going, "You guys should totally vote for Myra Flores." Like, what? Bitch, you don't even live here. Anyway, congratulations to Elon on his rocket launch, by the way. That's very exciting.
I don't even know what to say anymore.
State Senators Chuy and Hinojosa, District 20, 20,000 votes. State Senator District 27, Morgan Lamantia with 8,000 votes. Adam Hinojosa, the GOP person running against her, only 4,000 votes. Oscar Longoria, 3,000. Sergio Munoz, 6,400. Mondo, our good friend Mondo down in Westlaco. Mondo, 6,200 votes. His candidate pulled 3,000. His opposing candidate pulled 3,000 votes.
Either way, it's exciting to know that so many people are going out there to vote.
They're not, though. The statistics are
You said
horrible.
thousands of numbers, so it's better.
5%, I believe, is the number.
Okay, it's not better.
It's terrible. Hidalgo County does not vote.
I don't know how you get people to come out and vote.
Yeah, I don't. I wonder what it was.
How do you get people to come out and vote?
Well, you have to put issues on the.
I mean, I don't know how many other issues you could put on there that matter.
They're important for. Let's see, March 5th. I wonder if the statistics are on here. What the total was. Republican primary, Democratic primary, unofficial early voting totals and results. Let's see if it's on here. What do you think the number was?
I don't know.
Oh, these are early voting totals. Anyway, it's always low. It's always ridiculously low, which is a total bummer because you would think that it means more to people.
I don't know how you change that.
I don't know.
Is it like better campaigning?
This is in February. In February, it was. In February, 19,000 people had cast their ballots, and the 2020 primaries was over 25,000. It's always ridiculously low. So hopefully people get out to vote in this upcoming wonderful election year.
Well, it's hard. All of it is hard. It's hard being a candidate, that's for sure.
Yes, speaking of candidates, there's some candidates also that I would like to draw special attention to.
I was going to say, what now? I don't want to talk any more politics.
March 21st, the Rio Grande Valley Diabetes Association is having their celebrity waiter competition in Mission at Krista's Event Center. So go support our buddy Ago and Spikes Ford. Also, Julian Alvarez is there, our friend from Texas Workforce, who's now at Texas Regional Bank. Judge Mancias from Hidalgo County Courts is there. And then one of my favorite people in the universe, Miss Veronica Whitaker. it will also be there.
It
So
shall be there.
if you're looking for something to do, Mission.
Well, so what are they
Chris's
serving?
Event
This
Center.
is
I don't know. March 21st. It's just the
It's a waiter competition?
He's a waiter, yeah. So he's like cracks jokes, and you tip him, and however much you tip him, that all goes to the Rio Grande Valley Diabetes Association.
Oh, I was the worst at waiting tables. The worst.
Well, Agus great at selling cars.
Yeah, he's quite the personality.
Dude, he does the. I'm not even gonna give away my favorite trick that he does.
He's a friendly dude.
That every time I fill up with gas, it makes me think about him. He's so good at what he does.
There are a handful of people that you can turn around and say, "Oh, just talking to them makes you smile," and he's one of those.
He's one of them.
He's one of those. It's a delight.
No joke. Customer service wise, like even
great.
he's so good.
Yeah.
It's like if the car needs an oil change or the truck needs some, something done on the washer fluid.
It's like enthusiasm and personality and like peppiness and positive, like the whole thing.
He's always there.
You can be like, my car just exploded, and he's like, all right, man, it's okay.
Man, that sounds great. Let me bring you a new one.
Like, it's gonna be okay.
He is such a great person. We've done business with him forever. I mean, he's such a great person to do business with. I'm so happy he's over with Spikes, and they take real good care of us over there. So yeah, it's kind of cool, neat. So make sure you go out if you're not doing anything on March 21st. The Rio Grande Valley Diabetes Association. Go see Ago, and tip him heavily to raise money. Yeah. Our daughter Nola and I were talking about diabetes, and we were talking about health stuff in the Rio Grande Valley because we were talking about school lunches, and I asked her if she felt if her school lunch was nutritious or not. And because I was asking about a snack bar, I was like, don't they have nachos at a snack bar or pickles? And
I think that's in high school. I don't know if it's
and so she was like, no, they sell the Flaming Hot Cheetos or whatever, and then they sell snow cones on Friday in middle school. But we were talking about lunch, and we talked about your friend who's a dietitian for Region 1 who used to work in McAllen School District, and about how her job was to figure out what constitutes a healthy lunch for children. And then we talked about Idea Academy. I don't know if they still do what they did before, which was the whole salad bar available in every passing period for any student who wants to grab a salad at any given moment. And the thought process behind having children have access to healthy, nutritious food throughout the day instead of the whole blood sugar spiking thing, big sugary cereal breakfast in the morning, and then wait till the blood sugar drops, and then load them up with carbs and sugar at lunch, and then wait till it drops, and then give them a snack, and then send them home where they pass out and they're doing their homework, versus making salad bars available throughout the entire day so that they fill up on something healthy.
Right.
And by the time they go home, they're not hitting those highs and lows.
Even at home, I've really emphasized, like, if you put the fruit out, right, at a level where they can just open the fridge and grab it, and it's washed and cut and ready to go, chances are they're going to eat that versus eating, a bag of chips or something terrible.
The thing is, with that, though, is fruit's not always accessible to everyone. The cost of it alone is expensive compared to Cheetos, So how do you? That's a whole different conversation.
Look, you have to figure it out at the end of the day, because diabetes isn't exactly cheap either. The medication isn't cheap, and what it does to your body isn't okay.
But it's a good thing that now we've got things like capped prices on insulin that are happening across the United States.
Yes.
Which Republicans don't vote for, by the way.
I'm aware, but I'm really trying.
It's election year. We're going to have so much fun.
I'm trying real hard to stir you in a whole other direction. I was like, let's talk about, I don't know.
Hey, I will say the Lincoln Project put out an ad yesterday and I'm a big fan of Lincoln Project, not just because they're shit talkers, but because they're a group of conservative people who want to get it back to those conservative roots, right? And I'm a Texas Democrat, so I'm pretty much a Republican, in a lot of different states. And if you look at what's happening in the party, I think that immediately when people say Lincoln Project, if they're familiar with it, they're gonna not watch the commercial that they did. But I loved it because it was like, dude, this used to be a party that was like this and like this and like this and like this, and now it's crazy,
Well, I think Democrats come in various shapes and forms. I think that we all really need to.
I think all
just
politics
vote on things that matter.
I think that's true, but the thing is there's so many hot button issues, right?
There's always hot button issues.
How do you vote? Do you vote based on one thing, single?
I think you have to sit there and decide what makes the most sense to you, how you deal with your morality.
Like Pornhub being blocked.
I don't have a problem with Pornhub being blocked. My mind is actually thinking, wow, we've removed one outlet that shows young boys what not to do. Right? Yeah. Like, I think that for years now, it's been a tutorial that's not accurate.
Yeah, then that's a whole other conversation. That's
right?
Not.
Like, we need to get back to loving each other.
Yeah.
And not choking each other, right? Like
unless you're Jack Harlow, right?
Well, I mean, I feel like it's gotten so out of control. Everything that you see is so extreme. Yeah. What happened to just loving each other and exploring each other's bodies? Why does it have to be so intense?
I don't know, because
and the genres are just more and more intense, and that's I don't know. Where do you go from there?
Yeah.
I can't remember what it is that we recently saw, but it was like, where it was like, what's next? You got to punch me in the face in order for me to
punch me in the kidney just to get off.
Right. Like what is next? Yeah, and terrible. So when you become so, I don't know, desensitized to all of it, it's startling. And if that's happening at 12, at 13.
Oh, I know. I mean, this is stuff we've talked about. We've had to deal with in middle school.
What are you doing? What are you doing when you're 21?
Yeah.
Right? How do you show someone that you love them?
Not by choking them.
No. Well, I mean, no.
I don't know. Some people are early.
Oh, my goodness. Maybe we just got to take it back. Maybe we just need to live in a land of road trips, and that's it.
Can I talk about how much I miss daily service from the Monitor?
I mean, I don't miss the newspaper stacking up.
Man,
I really hate clutter.
I miss having a newspaper so much, and I subscribe to the other one now, to Advanced News Journal, and like I don't even understand that. It's what they do is they take all the articles and they post them online, and then they make everything available, and then they send you a PDF version of the newspaper, and then they mail you the paper, and it's like why waste the it doesn't make I like opening up the paper and reading something and, oh, that's fascinating.
Why?
I don't know.
How is it any different than for you reading it on your iPad or on your phone?
Old school. Just old school medium.
Like
cup of coffee, big newspaper. It's nostalgia.
Really. You already have your laptop in front of you. I've seen you every morning when you're drinking your cup of coffee. You got your laptop going. You got your phone going.
I don't know.
Read the newspaper on the phone.
There's something about, the thing about it is there's something about local news reporters also, where you have, like Matt Wilson, who wrote for the Monitor Stories, I guess, for the Monitor, where it's someone that knows how news affects our environment, how it affects the city of McAllen, how it affects our kids' schools, and when they write an article, knowing that's where it's from, then it's important. To me, it resonates more than someone, reading an AI generated blurb about an event that took place, which. I don't read the news just to get like facts and information. I read it because there's some sense of opinion with local news where it's like, this is what's happening. This is how it's going to affect your daily life.
I think that's really wishful thinking.
Well, you don't read the news like I do.
Well, no, but I can't remember the last time that I read an article on any of those outlets where I was like, oh, wow, that was great writing. That really swayed my thought.
Well,
no.
You can't. Well, you can't even read it now if you want to.
Well. I'm sorry that bothers you, but I don't miss the stacks of newspaper, and I definitely don't miss the magazines piling up because it's just it.
I do. I love magazines. You can't even find Walgreens used to have the coolest magazine selection now.
You still get a couple.
I don't, man.
You get a couple, and I quickly throw them away.
I know. What's the point in subscribing to a magazine if you're going to throw it away?
You've already read the articles. You're not going to read them.
That's not true. That's not true.
Well, I try to put them in the bathroom for you.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
I don't know. That part's never bothered me at all. I know, like, you were having a major issue because we couldn't find a map, an atlas.
I just wanted I wanted a map. We're on a road trip. I was like, I know. I went into a convenience store. I said, hey, do you guys have any maps? And the lady goes, oh my God, no, we don't have maps anymore. It's like, oh, that's cool. So I went to Walgreens because they used to have everything. And I walk in and I was like, do you guys have atlases? And they're like, no.
Like, what's an atlas?
Yeah. I had to go find a bookstore or travel. So we stopped at the Utah Travel Center to pick up a map.
Get on your phone, sir.
No, dude. And what happens when your cell phone dies and you're in the middle of blizzard conditions? You're like, shit, do I turn left or right?
Hey, boomer, figure it out.
Yeah.
was a lady. He went in there asking for a map. She was like, "Who's this old guy asking for a map? Doesn't he have a phone?"
Come on, man. Maps are fun.
I mean, they're fun to look at, sure.
Yes, they teach the kids about geography. Well, that's the thing, man. Is like, how else do you teach kids about geography? Like, oh, let me zoom in, let me zoom out. No, man.
I recently had someone ask me, "Hey, do you know where this country is on the map?" And I was like, "Next to Australia? I don't know."
You didn't even know it was next to Australia.
I didn't really know. I was like, somewhere.
I mean, it's 10:25. We got 5 minutes left. You want to talk about Vegas?
No, I don't.
You want to talk about how you spent 6 nights in Vegas away from your family?
Goodness. I wasn't 6 nights. That's a bit much. It was 4. It was 4.
No.
It was 5.
Can you math?
I can math. I left Thursday, came back Monday. I maximized my time away.
You did maximize your time away.
I maximized my time
Christ.
away, and came back with no voice.
You went out and had a midlife crisis for your birthday.
I had a birthday midlife crisis. No, I had an epic birthday fun time, and it was fun.
Let me ask you boys out there.
Oh, don't even start.
If a guy decided to buy your wife a $10,000 bottle of champagne at a club, how would you feel?
You'd say, awesome, I didn't have to pay the bill.
That's what I said. Just this you need you need to break up all the stories about the random people that you meet.
But meeting people is fun. So let's end on this note, right? I have had the most fun just meeting people.
You have.
Meeting people is a good time.
Yeah. I'm going to Chicago. I wonder if I'm going to meet anybody.
I'm sure you will. You always
That's not
do.
true. Some of my friends are going.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah. One of my friends from here is going, and one of my friends from Kansas City is going. And it'll be fun.
Yeah.
They're
and
putting me up at the Ritz. Woo!
Ooh, I like it.
Funsish.
I want to come.
Too bad. No.
Oh, okay. I don't get to go. Fine.
No.
Fine.
You're still trying to get your kids to remember who you are after being in Vegas
Oh
for
my
4
God.
nights.
You know what's awesome is that when you're not guilted about having a good time. That's awesome.
You saw Madonna in concert?
I did. I saw Madonna. I got to hang out with my friends. It was awesome. It was bottle service 3 nights in a row, which might be too much.
Well, hold on, but that sounds like you went out and got did not go out and get bottle service. We have a very wonderful cousin.
Well, we do, and then I was with another friend who has a host that definitely takes care of her everywhere she goes, and so it was.
And you have a stranger who bought you some Ace of Spades.
Yeah, and then this very very generous stranger that was. Very, very
who got
kind.
intoxicated and then left in the middle.
And then he left. He was like, I had too much to drink now.
It's total bonus, dude. It was like,
yes, you should go.
Like, yeah, thanks for the bottle. Peace.
Make sure you pay that credit card bill.
That was nice, though.
It was It was
that
great.
raised the question, which I said, which is like, if I had an obscene amount of money and I saw someone having a birthday, would I be like, you know what, get them a bottle of champagne? I feel like I would. Like, you know what, go have a great time.
I think it's all relative, right? Like to us, that was a crazy generous gift. Like that is a lot. But I think that you probably see that a lot out there. People are having a good time and spending ridiculous amounts of money, and they send things over to tables, and that's just the way that it works.
A magnum of high-end champagne to someone's table.
I don't know how that works or why that works, but it does, and I was the lucky recipient, and I was very thankful.
No one sends me a bottle of champagne.
Well, maybe you're just not smiling enough. Maybe you're just not batting your eyes.
That's my goal for 2024 is to get some random
Oh, baby,
stranger.
I'll buy you a champagne.
Aw, you're a sweetheart.
I'll send it over from an anonymous source.
All right. Hiding behind the club. Like, it's the finest Wycliffe I've had today. What vintage is this?
Anyway, but I think at the end of it that we can laugh and we can have a good time about it, and that's it.
I am so glad you had a good time.
It was fun.
Your midlife crisis for your birthday was
my midlife crisis. Stop calling it that. It was not a midlife crisis.
It was like
It was just a nonstop party for a couple of days.
It was, dude. You came back, your voice was hoarse. You couldn't even talk.
I couldn't talk anymore, and I was very tired. Very, very tired.
And that tattoo is terrible. I can't believe you got it.
You're such a liar. You're such a liar. No,
Anyway.
and I had some great friends around me, and we had an epic time.
Man.
And
that's awesome.
it was much needed.
I'm glad.
Much needed.
I'm giving you a hard time about it, but I really am. You know I like it when you go away and have a good time. I think that if it's one thing I learned from being around people and being around couples, it's that I love giving you space, because it's just like taking a sabbatical, right? It's just like taking time off at work and going on a vacation. When you get to go out and you get to remember who you are, I fell in love with you for who you are, not for who you've become since we've been married, right? I didn't know you back then. What I knew was the girl that I fell in love with. And when you get a chance to go away and really be you, and then you bring that back, it's like, there she is. There's that fire. You know what I mean? And sometimes the fire burns a little bit, but it's okay.
But I think, but part of that is also having open communication with you, right? Like, hey, this is happening. This is going on. This is what I'm doing. And you being fully trusting, engaging, and honestly, like telling me to go for it. Like, have fun, go, continue to have fun. Just, know when to stop.
Yeah. Shout out to your friends who were my spies during the trip. Who were sending me pictures of you having a good time to make sure I was fully informed of what was going on. That was kind of cool.
Yeah, it was. It was really fun, and I think the girls all had a great time. And
they did.
We don't get to.
Like you had a great time.
We don't get to party like that.
No. That's the thing. You don't get to party like that down here. We were just having this conversation the other night where it's like, if we just want to go out and we want to go have a good time and we want to go somewhere and just chill, but maybe also dance, there's still nowhere to go in the Rio Grande Valley where you're not surrounded by people who are not doing it for the same reasons you are. It's just like,
right. I don't even know where you would go clubbing here.
I don't even know.
Well, I'm sure there's places, but I don't know. We're not there.
No, I know.
Yeah.
So I'll see you at Dead Mouse, where we're going to go on Saturday. Is it Saturday the 29th?
Friday the 29th.
Friday the 29th, at the end of Semana Santa. Ooh, Sal Padre Island, Dead Mouse, my buddy Paul. It's going to be a blast.
Where can you get tickets?
On the internet. I don't know his website, man. It's like globalgrooveonline.com or something.
Well, you should know that. Or you should be giving out his phone number.
Oh my God, dude, he'd kill me if I gave out his phone number. It's 404
956.
No, 404. He's from the
404?
404. Yeah, man.
I don't know where 404 is.
Hotlanta.
Get out. Really?
Paul has such an old, fun story.
Because
he's old.
Oh, my. Well, it sounds like we need to have Paul on so you can talk about it.
No way, man. There's not enough oxygen in this room to have me and Paul in the same room. You cannot buy the tickets online, it looks like, on his website. But if you look up Global Groove Events, you can purchase there you go, southpadreume.com.
There you
southpadreume.com. You can get your tickets on there. 75% of Tier 3 tickets are sold out.
All right. Well, we'll be there with the children.
It's going to be really, really fun, dude.
Well, I'm wondering, we'll be there for what, 2-3 songs before we're like, okay, we got to go.
No, Fleety's totally into it, so he's going to have a good time. You and me's going to be fun. And
do you think he's going to need like ear protection?
We can take him just in case, yeah. I mean, I would.
The little plugs?
Yeah. And then this is pre-gaming for...
Are you going to say where we're going?
For our trip in May.
Yeah. So
I'm expecting you to work your magic and get bottles for all of us because we're going to EDC in May.
I did talk to a host yesterday, and he sent the link, and I was like, ouch.
Holy moly! The only thing about I'm gonna have so much fun with you and with the other female friend that's going, but there's 2 dudes that are going with us.
There's gonna be a riot to watch
and
them.
Both of them are like handsome, carved out like they're poster children for physical fitness. I don't even want to say their names because women will swoon if I say their names.
Just listening to their names.
Like we're gonna go with them. It's gonna be like, this is gonna be hilarious. You're gonna be getting bottles from the guys. They're gonna be getting bottles from the girls. I'm just gonna be like a bump on a log. It's gonna be so much fun. We're gonna get to enjoy just all of this magicalness.
We'll see what happens. Stay tuned,
dude. It's gonna be debauchery.
That's a different podcast. Anyway, I gotta go. Time for work.
Whatever. I don't even know if anybody listened today.
I doubt it. I hope they didn't.
You got some good sound bites in here.
Do I? I was hoping I was staying completely quiet as you were talking politics.
What a career festival. Yeah, I want to go to a career fair. Say it. This is week number 3 of Drew being laid off. It's so
loud. You're breaking up. Okay, but I really do got to go. 10:30. On that note,
I'm gonna try and get a job today.
Do you work on that, babe?
Nah, man, I'm gonna go watch Dune Part 2.
You do that too. I gotta go.
All right. I can't turn it off from here. I got to get to the other deal over there.
Well,
Anyway,
you might want to get up and go.
have a wonderful week.
Thank you. You too.
It's good to see your hair looks good.
7 a.m. 7 a.m. appointments.
Yeah, shout out to Belinda.
Woo! All right, bye.
Bye.